Ugh. Ugh. I don't know what to say. Alright. There we go. Yeah, back to caption review. This quest. A tape measure, thanks. Mob soul. Yeah, +3 till audacity changes. I gotta fix it. I do not know when it actually goes off, so I may just not fix it. There we go, 25. Ugh. Redstone upgrade. And random reward. Redstone comparator. Okay. Okay. And random reward. Later, but teleport device, it seems. Not much to do at the current. Are we sure I actually have this track? Yep, it's -3. Not much to do at the current moment in terms of progression for the pack. The progression of the pack is like a bell curve. It starts off really slow, picks up a whole lot, and then it really tapers off to like an annoying amount. You'll find out later. Either way. Wait, we need plates for things, so we might as well make a press from create. We mainly do it so we can get a fan, so that we can wash gravel for new ores like diamonds and stuff, you know? Also, I love how there's a no solicitors sign for the watering trader. It is just so funny to me, and for me, more times than not, I do not care if they show up. They're just nice little trader guys. I like seeing trader guys. That in there. Little trader guys I like seeing around, but it's a quest, so we make it anyways. We try fucking around with the decoration block. That's just a triangle. It's a slope. Because what I wanted to do with it was have it act like a funnel for that looks right, but I feel like I'm lying to myself. Words don't look like words anymore. Nope, that's funnel. Yep, alright. Funnel for mobs, but the hitbox is more like a staircase rather than a slope, so it doesn't work. Oh well. Progress some more and create, you know, get the wrench and all that. I'm just glad that the singular water wheel wheel we set up can power all 3 of the machines. The fan, the millstone, and the press. Just all of it. It's nice. We try to set up a small room for chickens, but it seems like the odds for eggs are against us. But it seems like the odds for eggs are against us because we just can't get chickens out of these eggs. Once we can get 1 chicken, that's all we need. But no. We were able to get enough diamonds for a mob grinder and a fan, but it's not really hard to get diamonds or other resources in this, since it's a whole lot faster than sieving like it used to be in the other packs, because you can just throw a whole inventory of whatever, let's say gravel, into a washing stream, and then just let it run, and then boom. And then boom, you get stacks of whatever RNGesus has decided. There's a missing S. There we go. Fucking fingers lied to me. RNGesus has decided to bestow upon you. What do we get? What do we get? Let us redeem. And a redstone upgrade. Okay, yeah, it completely broke after that. I'm just gonna go through and do them all. Way too far. The chance, and it failed that chance. Okay. There we go. Chainmail boots. More redstone comparators. Let's see what we get. We got a straw. That was a straw. And with that, we also get this. Like. Metal warning door. Thanks for the cosmetic bullshit that I don't care about. So this pack. Ugh. A drink of water. So this pack has dungeons in it, like in the stone area before all the caves and such, and it's just a bunch of hallways with loot and mob spawners. Now, these dungeons can be very annoying. These dungeons can be very annoying. The first one here just seems to be infested completely with silverfish, which is foreshadowing. But you know what? I sure shit for silverfish, which is foreshadowing. But another thing is, this pack has what I remember as infernal mobs, which are more or less mobs that have special abilities and more health and are just harder to deal with. And with all the spawners and it being dark by default and just the sheer amount of silverfish in these dungeons, it's just tiresome. Go back to the main base, talk to chat for a bit about the goal, which is the quest book and the infinity armor as is standard with these packs. Little did I know how fucking annoying it would all be. We need a factory, so let's get some kelp so we can get belts, because belts are made out of kelp. For some kelp. For some reason. Eco-friendly. We also want grass, so we make a spout from create, and well, while making the infinite water source for the spout, we accidentally flood the spout. They're sad. We accidentally flood the staircase, and there goes all of those torches. After fixing that, and getting the grass we wanted, we start building out a room for passive mobs, based on the tips in the pause screen, which are very nice to have. For the size and distance from the main base, it should be more or less. And it's done, pretty much, by the end of the stream. So that's good. We look into a way to maybe get chickens a bit easier since, well, we have the mod chickens, which has material chickens, and those just lay items of whatever material they are, and they are very useful, especially after you commit eugenics on them to max their stats. By the way, go look up mugenic. I believe this is just how it's spelled. Let me double check. Grabbing a JPEG. Look up mute. Look up Mugenics. It's a fun game. We start the hostile mob farm, but we get distracted with the smeltery. We also can't really make it because we don't have. We also can't really make it because we don't have access for the absorption hopper, so it's a vacuum hopper, more or less. For some reason, go back to the dungeon and get our fucking fucking ass beat by everything in there. The place is just overrun with mobs and we just kind of gotta do a torch and dash and dash type thing. Go in, place torches, run out, because it's the only way we're going to be able to light the area and not just die trying to fight. And even in the hallway, it's terrible, terrible. And just... even in the hallway, it's terrible, terrible. And just the endless stream of silverfish. God damn it. We do die once. Break a chance cube when we get back. At least it wasn't terrible. Go back to the base after getting some clay, which I think was... after getting some clay... which I think was the point, even though we had the dripper. Anyways, open some loot crates, which brings me not to this video's sponsor, since who the fuck would sponsor us? Since who the fuck would sponsor us? This is a 200 sub channel. Right, I'm surprised Loot Crate still exists. Thanks for the mousepad I still use after 10 years. Like, this thing is in great condition. I've only washed it once. Only washed it once. Amazing. They don't make them how they used to. Anyways. I'll make them how they used to. Anyways, we make the melter, not the smeltery. It's like a smeltery, but smaller, and I don't think it can alloy technically. And then we work towards the real smeltery. The controller for the smeltery comes from the melter. So yeah, priorities, priorities, prerequisites. That's what the word I'm looking for is. Sheep spawn in the passive mob farm, but we don't need those, so I just murder them. I want chickens. Chicken. Murder them. I want just murder them. I want chickens. Chickens. And we start down the path for soul sand, because we will need to haunt sand to make more soul sand. And it's just a lot easier than mixing it in a cauldron in bulk, to just haunt it in bulk. I don't know why it's called haunting. Somebody go ask the create dev why it's called haunting. These looks like it. Oh. Oh. There we go. These quests. Iron ore. Okay. And our air bottle. We get our soul sand and see what items we can haunt with it once we get like a fan hooked up to a fire on top of it, you know. Some of it's useful, some of it's not. Anyways, back to the dungeon again. Back to the dungeon again. I think I kept doing this because I'm streaming this, and it's more entertaining to just watch me get my ass beat than it is just standing around the base waiting to do shit. We got like 10 more blocks in and didn't get much of use out of it, so yeah. Continue to work on the smeltery items while also debating what metal we want to use for the tool anvil. The tool anvil, by the way, is what was the tool forge. It's for the more complex tools like the 3x3 hammer or the crossbow. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if Mojang and Microsoft stole the crossbow from Tinker's Construct for the villagers' crossbows. Anyway, start clearing the area for a smeltery and get sidetracked by needing more storage. So we sidetracked by needing more storage. So we look for how to get obsidian without needing to mine it, since that'd be too easy. Just way too easy, you know? Oh, did I just? I don't think I did. Yeah, no, I forgot. Let's see what we get. A redstone flux frame. A redstone flux frame. Give me that. And let me see what... And let me see what this is. Give me that. And let me see what this is. Steel casing. Well, that's... There's a... Turns out we did just decide to... Turns out we did just decide to mine the obsidian after just using water and the sticks. Easy. Make the obsidian chest, set stuff to wash, and then it's back to the dungeon. And the best things we got out of that dungeon run was a trident, which I don't think we used at all. Trident, which I don't think we used at all very much. And just a singular Project E fuel, because the rare crate we got just gave us some Botania flour, and we can't really give us some Botania flour, and we can't really use Botania right now, nor would I want to. I don't like Botania. And since this is version whatever the fuck after they added dripstone, we like Botania. And since this is version whatever the fuck after they added dripstone, we do just have a little lava generator next to the smeltery, because you need lava for the smeltery. And since the smeltery is up and running now, we can just alloy things together, so we make our rose gold for our anvil. With our new anvil, we just make a cleaver, because that's like the strongest weapon we can use and make right now. And I just want to one-shot things in the dungeon. Speaking of which, let's go back there. Break a chance cube, which spawns a Jeb platform, which just made which just made the whole section here a whole lot harder because everything was stuck under it. Once we can clear the Jeb platform and get into the dungeon again. This cleaver really does just help to kill the mobs and make this whole thing a whole lot easier. My god. Also, for good loot, we got 2 alchemical pouches. Good loot, we got 2 alchemical pouches. Well, 3, but since the same colors are linked to each other like ender chests, it's the 2 white ones might as well just be one thing since it's a single player game. And these things are just big portable storage, like an obsidian chest backpack. For things from loot crates, we didn't get much, just the slime sling, which you can use to propel yourself great distances, which would be great. It's an item I really love in normal gameplay, but we're stuck under fucking... We're stuck under fucking ground and can't use it. And now that we're back at the base, might as well... Can't use it. And now that we're back at the base, might as well load up on a whole lot of brass, because we're gonna need it. Grow some trees. Needed. Grow some trees, strip the trees, brass them up because you need the brass, casing? I think it's brass, sour, brass, casing? I think it's casing. From create. Smelt some quartz so we can get nether quartz, and then turn that nether quartz into rose quartz for the create crafters. Meanwhile, we also expand the passive mob farm because nothing's spawning. Maybe they just need a larger area, so yeah, let's see. Go crafter. Go crafter. Go crafter. What are we going to get from this? Machine frame. After After getting all the dirt placed down, I want to change the lighting in the room, so I start to break all the torches, and of course mobs spawn after taking care of that and making sure it's very bright in there. We get some more obsidian so we can actually make the absorption hopper for the mob farm. Go back, continue with the mechanical crafters so we can make the crushing wheels, and with the crushing wheels we'll be able to get more materials, more different materials. I find it very funny how we got the experience obelisk out of the quest line, since we're building a mob farm and that's just like infinite EXP storage. It holds like 1,000 levels, and that's like exponential in the whatever. Anyways, get the crushing wheels set up with some chutes for more process. Oh, fuck, nope. Chutes with a C. Chutes for more processing, and then just get more materials with the smelter and washing, because that's how it goes in this. You just get more materials so you can build more things, so you get more materials. The factory must grow. Whatever, jumbo tank. Whatever, jumbo tank. And a linking tool. Ender IO, anyone? Experience obelisk. That may be better than whatever the fuck else. Is an XP tank where you can quickly store or retrieve exactly the amount of XP your levels aim. Well, it can also be set up. XP your levels aim. Well, it can also be. Can also be set to automatically absorb nearby XP orbs and can be set to work only with a redstone signal. 5 levels! New stream. Oh, no, stop. I don't know why the out didn't input. This is very... I'll play a globe, that's... I'm pretty... New stream. Brain's flatlining. New stream. Upgrade the cobble gen block to the gold level since we can't melt diamonds yet. Melt diamonds yet. Get it to that level. There's also no redstone clock block that we used to have in the old packs in this one. There is a timer, but we can't make that right now, so it's time for some good old vanilla Minecraft redstone clock. Yeah, we finally get chickens in the farm. Also, this green thing. Also, this green thing, I don't know what it does. Anyways, our next main goal is to build a steam engine from Create. And we're gonna need a lot more lava for that, so we make the small room with the dripstone and the pipes and the cauldrons and the works, the pump, it's set up to run, we just need the rest of it, which includes the blaze burn. Which includes the blaze burners. So it's time for a lot of prep because we got to go all the way to the nether for the blazes, because you need to capture the blazes to put them in the blaze burners so they can burn the lava to power the steam engine, because that's how that works. It's a ways away. We got a whole biome to skip because fuck the caves. I'll skip. Because fuck the caves, I don't need them. Just yet. Oh, come on. You were... There you go. Thank you. I don't know why it does the bridging thing. It's so weird. Just yet. Living wood twig, okay. Living with twig, okay. Oh hey, you gave me the thing I made. Thanks. Laser node, no idea. After just a whole lot of mining in a straight line. After just a whole lot of mining. Of mining in a straight line and a bit of exploring of the caves, because why not? Let's see if there's any fun ores in here or something. We do make it to the edge of the nether, and thankfully a dungeon spawned right here at the edge. Set up a TP location with the temp pad. So it's easier to get back here. TP home mainly because we need a new pickaxe because this hammer is about to break. Now that we're at the nether dungeon, the infernal mobs spawn at a higher... The infernal mobs spawn at a higher level and are even more annoying. Granted, normal nether mobs are also very annoying. We also have illagers to deal with. And phantoms for some reason, even though we're underground. Also, our armor broke, so then we TP home again and just get some new armor. Do a bit of looting in the nether fortress, mainly just here to smash and grab some blazes, and once we get that done, we're out of there. Get the blazes set up to drink the lava and just kind of gauge if we've got enough lava gens for all the blazes, so it can just run at peak efficiency forever, you know? We alt tab, do a bit of, we alt tab, do a bit of math and such to see how much copper we need for the tank and get all that going. Let the plates getting crushed as we just get a bunch of trees because we need barrels for the tanks, which is a weird recipe, but I'll take it. Heat's a little low after we get the tank up because, well, the lava, we don't have enough. Bigger issue, we don't have any water. So we need to get that going with a bunch of water wheels and just gearing that would make... I believe that was gearing. With a bunch of water wheels and just gearing that would make... Audacity just dying. Technically it's the microphone, but still. Engineer's cry, I'm pretty sure. Expand the lava by a lane, so now it's 4x4. And with heat being our only limiting factor here, I just add the max number of steam engines I can and just get stuff ready. Can't fucking read because of the damn chat. Get stuff ready for the processing line, as I called it. Anyways. I hit you. I 4 going. I hit you. Don't know what that used for. Basic chemical tank from. No, I want to select things. Thank you. Just all a bit of a mess. Anyways, what do we get? It starts around 1,000 blocks from spawn. That's something for Britannia, which I don't think has any quests, so we're probably not gonna touch it. Log cartwheel. log cartwheel. Log cartwheel. Glasses, compacting drawer. That's something. What do we got here? Fluid transporter. Industrial foregoing. I hit you, don't know what that used. You don't know what that used. I hit you, don't know what that. Industrial foregoing. I hit you, don't know. And for the processing line, we're gonna need a whole lot of cal. Gonna need a whole lot. I need a whole lot of kelp because you belts, you know, and create. So we set up a little tank that we can just break from the outside and then just skim the kelp off the top of it. We get auto hammers made for the processing line so we can have one of each type of hammered block, you know, like hammered block, you know, like gravel, sand, dust. There's also dirt, but dirt doesn't have any like sifting materials we need or shit like that. As we're prepping for this, getting materials together, the game crashes. Together. The game crashes. Game crash. The game crashes, which happens a few times while playing this pack. It's not a major issue, I would say. It's a minor issue. Minus the fact that while the world seemed to have saved at the point of crashing, the inventory didn't. So we did functionally lose items. Do a bit of pondering with create. Best feature ever, by the way. And just a bit of testing with tunnels, trying to figure out how we're going to do all this. Get your ore. Get your ore. Caps lock is on. Oops. Get your ore. And we got another. Well, let's see what it gives us. It gave us a module. And another heavy metal warning door. Throwing your old what I mean. No, different mod. It's like, is that, did we just ever use that for laser IO? No, that was for a different mod. And my footage is, there we go, that's better. I get the start of the I get the start of the processing line going, but then we just divert to the nether. Divert to the nether for some reason. I think it was mainly just for some loot and entertainment, and just seeing what we can get and do, you know, not much, but it's what takes up most of the hour here. But once we get back to the base, we start messing with tunnels and funnels, just trying to get everything through the line so we have each one of the blocks before hooking anything up to like a washer or anything like that, and hoppers, you know how it is. Continue with the math for the diversions of blocks on the line, like how many sand or gravel we need because of the different processes and all. Finally get a chicken out of an egg. I thought for a while there that they had actually disabled that, but no, you can. It just seems rarer than usual. Get up to the point of getting dust out of the line, and then just start working backwards on how to process all of this and just get everything hooked up. We solved the issue of getting items off of the line with just smart chutes and filters, so just don't allow blocks of dust in this case to go through, but let everything else go through because it doesn't matter. Have a bit of trouble walking. Doesn't matter. Have a bit of trouble walking. Hooking up the fan for the washer so we can actually wash the dust, but we do get it. And then on to the next issue to tackle, which is sand. The issue with sand is that you need sand and soul sand. So you got to figure out how to split that off, convert the soul sand, and then wash the sand. You know what the answer is? More chutes. More chutes. Just a bit more routing shenanigans. Just a bit more routing shenanigans, you know how it is in compact spaces with Create. It's a task. With Create, it's a task. We're going to need more kelp, and more kelp faster, so we just expand the kelp tank, not hard. After getting the soul sand haunting going, just drop it through a chute and then and then put it into a tunnel to merge it with the regular sand line. That allows you to have an alternating sand, soul sand, back and forth with the washing, so you get an even amount of both materials from them. And after getting the fan set up for the sands, it's time to move on to gravel, which requires both washing and crushing wheels. And once we get that all hooked up and ready to go, it's time to let past me explain how this whole processing line works. So let's run through. So let's run through this entire setup. Again, steam engine over there, supplying all the SCU energy. This takes cobble, crushes it, probably upgrade these eventually. Gravel, one spot can go in here, gets crushed into the ores and all of that. Over here, it will get split and go in here to get washed for all the gems and such. Split. Split again into dirt, into sand, which will be split. One, and then split again. One will be haunted into soul sand. And regular sand. And we'll go here, they merge here, get washed, get shit there. And then past that, one more hammer, one more washing, and then we get all the little dust. Didn't mean to delete that one. So, hit the wrong button again. So now we have infinite of whatever resources that provides, which means we can do whatever the fuck next. I have no idea. Ugh. Need to get a builder. Need to get a builder and make a big empty space. Actually, I think we'll do the mob farm now. At least try to. Time to cull some chickens. For some reason, this is a half-hour section. Not much besides just making the mob farm, which is just a big empty room with two fans pointed towards the mob masher and a vacuum hopper. Vacuum hopper. It works. Also, did you know you can place... Also, did you know you can place books in this pack? I didn't realize that until I did it. That was neat. And then just a bunch... on for like 5 minutes. A bunch of dicking around. For like 5 minutes, trying to figure out what to do next week, I guess. Like maybe AE2. Make an upgrade. Basic item. Another day. Another day, another stream. It seems like we really are gonna go down the A2 route. That's a 3, not an E. Oops. On the A2 route with making the presses for the processors and such. In the meantime, we get things gathered and set up for the alternator, which we need to generate electricity for the A2. I'm constantly skipping the E system. I will say, while it is very neat, I do not really like them. It's very neat. I do not really like the mechanical crafter system from Create. Anyways, carve out a space for the processor line, and thankfully the only difference between the 3 processors is the base material. So after smacking down like the gold dimer Certus with how do you spell Certus? No, there's no I in Certus. For some reason I thought there was. Dimer Certus with the press. We can just merge those lines into one and just have a single line to smack on some silicon redstone and stamp it all together, and we got processors. All of them to properly do this shit. And we got processors. All of them to break time. Alright, back to it. All of them to properly do this shit. Swear to God. Whatever. Alright, what'd we get? Item trans. Whatever. Alright, what'd we get? Item trans. Order. Great. Thanks, I guess. Oh, industrial foregoing. Is like foregoing, like F-O-R-E thing, because that's... Alright, so we still need that, but we also need an another quest, huh? No. We got this time. We got a chain quest. Uncommon backpack, so that's a larger backpack, I assume. We got a tier 4 range add-on for after getting most... After getting most of the way through building this processor line, I realized I forgot about the silicon that we need for it, and that can just go off to the side. Realize I forgot about the silicon that we need for it, and that can just go off to the side here, just one block over. It's fine. The next thing we need to do after getting all this processing going is Fluix crystal. Yeah, that's right. It's Fluix crystals. And you know what that means, right? Correct, Fluix seeds. Correct. Fluix seeds. A lot of them. We also carve out a small room behind the farm so that we can just have a place for the ME system. Get the ME controller made. Get the drive bay made. Get the crafting terminal made. Get the first drives made. And that is a functional ME system. Just spend a bit of time chest dumping everything. It's chest dumping, not just dumping. And chest dumping everything into the system. Go about upgrading the hammers for the ore line. Just so that it can run faster. And there's a bunch of mod center quest lines in this pack, so we decided to go into Ars Nova. To go into Ars No. Novaru? No. Nosvaru? No. Nosvaru? There's no S in that. Novaru. fuck? Ours no Novaru? Nosvaru? There's no S in that. Novaru. Which is more or less just a spellcasting mod. You can do a lot of stuff with it. Mod. You can do a lot. There's a can in there. You can do a lot of stuff with it, like mine from a distance, attack with spells that'll one-shot shit. It's just a funny wizard mod. Hey. Ender drawers. Okay. I don't like that, but I don't like that, but mob fan. That's actually useful. What else is here? So the controller. Advanced pipe upgrade, great, useless. Armory cabinet, which gave us another thing, which will probably show up. Iron ore. Illuminant column. Okay. Spiky bomb. And one last thing, I think. High speed module. Anyway, jump me all the way over there. Unfortunately, our little thing makes weird choices. There's a worn notebook. I said weird choices, like there's a obvious pause there. I just don't understand. There's a worn notebook. XP Jelly Baby. Unfortunately, our little starting area is too small for the tree we need to progress with this mod, so we just make some space by raising the ceiling. But before we get that fully done, I have the realization. Right, we have botany pots. We can just grow the tree in a botany pot, and so we do. And while just grow the tree in a botany. Tree in a botany pot, and so we do. And while continuing to try and progress this mod, the game crashes. The game crashes. Hans, add that to the counter. The game crash. Okay, I did use a colon. Counter. Oh, there isn't a counter? Hans, start the counter and set it to 2, please. Oh, wait. Oh, there isn't a counter? Oh, there isn't a counter? Counter. Hans, start the counter and set it to 2, please. This also leads... Back this way. Way too far. And it's crying. Can't do anything, it's locked up. I can help. There we go. Does that because like RAM and storage and shit, just like, eh. Start the counter and set it to, and start. Counter and set to start the counter and set it to 2, please. This also leads to something funny you'll see in the quest redeems, is that the redeems are actually random. Since I didn't get the same thing twice, so it's not a seed-based thing, it's like the system clock or whatever they use to determine randomness in this. Keep going through this mod, which is more than spells, there's a stuff called source. Did this again. It's so weird when it chooses to do this. Called source, which you can get in a bunch of different ways, like from act. Called source, which you can. It's like you set a parameter before generating the text, and doing that breaks the parameter, so it's weird. Stuff called source, which you can get in a bunch of different ways, like from agriculture or lava, or coal, technically. It's used in transmuting things like lapis into source gems, or rituals and such. I don't care, I'm mainly just doing all this for the quests. Hit the fucking button, please. I hit the thing. Do what the button it tells you to do. Or what are we getting? A mob masher. We already have one of those. Ugh. And now we got a field plan. Field plan. I'm pretty sure of that. Oh, Terra Steel ingot. That's how you spell Terra Steel. No, it's 2 R's. It was like, it just did not go well for them. Anyway, Armory Cabinet. Rough garbage. And that's a... And that's a quest. Bread. Okay, just ignore my keystrokes as well. Thanks. Continue with R's, get some robes, and one thing I find annoying with this is One thing I find annoying with this is how it's not easy. It's not easy to automate the source gems if you were just to use hoppers, which would be the easiest way if you just installed this mod by itself, but I don't think mods are made that way anymore, where it's supposed to be self-contained. Head to the Nether to test. Head to the Nether to test out our spells, and it's not that great. I probably wouldn't keep using this mod at all. And with our testing, the game crashes again. Game crashes again. Hans, if you'd please. Please. Hi, Katashi. We're just doing caption review, making sure these captions are right, and then yeah, that's about it for today, really. We're just doing caption review. Thank you. Decide to start mining our way out to the end. We find one of the dungeons in the end, and just adding our little images we like to put in the bottom corner. And dear fucking god, look at how many fucking shulkers there are out here. And it's just impossible to do anything out here. I do not know what the devs expected you to do out here without just getting the gem armor, which would be the easiest. And the gem armor makes the final boss trivial, so it just feels not... which would be the easiest. And the gem armor makes the final boss trivial, so it just feels not like a good idea. Things weren't thought through here. Anyways, go back, get our stuff, go to a small dungeon to complete the final quest of the exploration chapter, I believe, and get greatly rewarded for it. Oh, right there. There we go. Actually, I should put happy here. There we go. Oh, that's the quest. Let's redeem that right before ads. And that gave us the final cobble gen we needed. We didn't even need to go make that. Hooray. Oh, repair talisman. That works with the alchemical bads, I assume. Ooh, I said bags there, not pads. This is more about the actual spelling than it is the capitalization. Actually, it's working on my Paxel right now. Interesting. The repair talisman was my favorite item from the quest that I got, and it just made not worrying about my... I feel like I already said that about the temp pad, but... tools and armor, just so nice, and I really enjoyed having it. Another quest. Oh, I'm doing alright, and thank you, Takashi. I appreciate that. That's neat. It's less that I'm an editing streamer and more that I'm just in the editing loop for the rest of the shit I do. Enchanted book. What type of book? It's for the robe. It's for the robe. Brother, follow for follow doesn't get you anywhere. It just pumps up a number that doesn't mean anything. A book. Yeah, a book. What type of book? Yeah, I wouldn't worry about doing that. Because editing's more of a YouTube or a just chill vibes type thing. I'm gonna redo this whole voice section here. There we go. It's for the robes. You can think as big and dream as big as you want, but reality will just hit you in the face with a frying pan. Ah, diamond Paxel. I'll keep that. I don't have high hopes because it doesn't make any sense. That's just my honest truth right there. You can do whatever you want, but if you prove me wrong, then good for you. And black lotuses, which would then. Well, it's good that you've made progress. Advanced pipe upgrade. Garbage. Thanks. There we go. Not much in the small dungeons, really. We also don't really go dungeon hunting. It seems rather unnecessary, because we can just get everything we need back at the base, more or less. We mainly just went to the ones we needed for the quests, and we're done with them from there. We're done with... That's we're, not we're. We're done with them from there. Trash a bunch of ores we don't really need. And then make some energy cables so we can hook up other machines to the alternator. We take a dive into mechanism. I'm not gonna blame it for getting mechanism wrong. Because mechanism is an actual word. Mechanism in order to get obsidian armor, so we just have better armor than diamonds. Because we can't get netherrack right now. I said netherrack, I meant netherite. Oh well. Right now. We could have, but it would be too tedious and annoying, honestly. But it would be too tedious and annoying, honestly. Do some random quests, such as the Mega Torch, which provides mob spawn, prevent spawn. Prevent mob spawn, which provides mob spawn, prevents mob spawning in a large area. And we try it out over in the base dungeon, and it seems to work and is rather helpful in clearing it, so we're just not overwhelmed. I try to be funny. I think I succeed at least 60% of the time. Basic flux storage, I saw. And this section is borked. Yeah, this whole section is borked. This one, random enchanted book. Mending. That's actually useful. Well, it used to be before we got the talisman. Coming back. Oh, that's another quest. Large cogwheel. And XP jelly baby. Clear out the dungeon for a while using the Mega Torch strat. It works rather well here. Try it out in the Nether and get ran down by an elite piglin brute. Great. Going through Project E, trying to see what overpowered nonsense we might be able to make in order to just not die. Like a Ring of Flight, or the one that just shoots 1 billion arrows. And it takes time to... to get through Project E, so in the meantime, let's just try enchanting our armor. But we need paper for that, so let's make a sugarcane farm. Another for the next hole. Another. There we go. For the next whole hour. Yeah, I also have to up the volume on that. For the next whole hour, we go on a personal quest, since it's not a quest in the quest book, to just get all the base resource chickens, all the ones that need to be crafted rather than bred. So then if we do need a resource that can be chickened, we can just breed up the chain to it. Very nice, very easy, very simple. Redeem this quest. And absorption hopper. We already have chickens. Have chickens. Either way, we made a breeder. Bread. That's I just realized after getting all the base chickens made, we start breeding up the smart chicken because we will need a bunch of eggs, so we might as well get a 310 chicken. I think 310 would be better with a slash. Maybe a forward slash. How about an asterisk? Asterisk. Oh yeah, that's the clip button. I forgot the asterisk was the clip button. Well, get a 310 chicken. Can you guess why we might need a bunch of eggs, perchance, in the comments below? Anyways, next step is to dig out another area. I've already forgotten why we needed a bunch of eggs. This one will be for a better sugarcane farm. Better in the sense that I will not need to fucking baby it, and Create will just do all the work for me. The real fun part is, once the area is clear, trying to figure out with geometry and shit how to place the water, since sugarcane must be placed next to water, and we're trying to optimize for... Not really. I don't sing too much. I think I tried singing, like when they had you pick your electives in like middle school and shit. I think I thought about it, didn't really go into it. Then I went to play the violin just for space efficiency, you know? Plus, I didn't know how quote-unquote smart Create would be. Create would be with the harvester, so I set them far too low and they just harvest them far too low and they just harvested all of it and didn't replant it, so I had to. Yeah, it's a small area. And at least now I know. Let's see. Compacting drawer. Balanced again. Control X. V. What should we get? Oh yeah, the harvester quest. I totally forgot. Target. Very weird choices, Da Vinci. Very weird choices. Bust down a wall so we can create power in here so we can run a crafter to turn sugarcane into sugar. And now for our next installment of working in cramped areas instead of just clearing out another room. Get some tough. Get some tunnels down since I need to be able to split our resources in here. This is your last chance to guess what this is all for back here. Anyways, add some crushing wheels because what we're making here is a blaze cake factory. And what this section here is for is recycling the netherrack into cinder flour and then back into netherrack while also maintaining a small offload of the cinder flour into the cake base smasher. And to do the cinder cake base smasher. And to do the cinder flour to rack, we need lava, so just add a small generator of it back here. Since I forgot you can use crushing wheels sideways, I just use Since I forgot you can use crushing wheels sideways, I just use some chutes. Why, thank you. I made it myself with Blender. I'm thinking of doing another version, but I would need like a lot more practice in like Blender and shit. So we'll see one day. Shoots, chests, and a fan to just blow the netherrack up so it can be transported over and down into the crushers. One of the main parts of blaze cakes is the lava, so just add another little lava room. We do a bit of sidetracking since we will need a whole lot of coal, and for it we get another great item in the form of quest rewards, a hearthstone, which just allows me to TP back to my spawn point, which is great. Back to the cake farm, it's now time for the task of hooking everything up in such a way that it actually all turns the correct way and doesn't bind and break. Just do. Do. Let's just do. Let's see what it is. Oh, hey, a globe. Don't we already have one? Yeah, we already. Yeah, jeez. Try that again. Yes, I am 3D. Woo. That's actually not 3D, that's just panning the camera. Which way? How do I... There we go. Wee. Try to adjust the angle again. There we go. Ah, I see. Well, let's, Oh, come on. There we go. Let's pull the bounce. I don't know why it just refuses sometimes. It's the same input, so... Very strange. Let's... Well, that's, home but balanced. It is rather cold. What do you mean? That's just the temp pad. Gold iron. These things just combo. Like I said, I wonder what's the longest chain you can combo. Armory cabinet again. Stone allows you to quickly teleport to your personal bed or respawn, anchor, or 0/0 of your dimension if you don't have either. Sure, you could just... Sure, you could just use FTV stone block / home and copy the same thing, but where's the fun in that? Oh hey, a botany pot. So... is this... There we go, that works. Most of this next hour is just a bunch of me tinkering, tweaking, finagling the gears, the gearboxes, just trying to get it all to work together because it's not working. Because I get the mad face. It all to work together because it's not working because I built this in a very small area. We eventually get it to work, but then comes the reason why we made a blaze cake farm. It's very simple. Steam engines work best off of blaze cakes, and we are going to make a truly max steam engine. Max steam engine. Too bad that means we need more blaze burners. So, back to the nether, since I am not reusing the ones we have on the other engine, mainly so I don't have to hook it up to the production line and the rest of the system and just all that bullshit. So I don't have to hook it up to the production line and the rest of the system and just all that bullshit, even though it would have been very simple. Oh well, too late now. Honestly, dripstone isn't really cutting it for me right now, so we try to make a magma crucible to melt stone into lava. But with some testing and augments, yeah, no, it's just not anywhere near better than the dripstones, in part because we can't keep up with the power demand right now, so we make another alternator and it's still just not worth it at full power. Anyways, sidetrack. Let's enchant some stuff, like our Paxel, which god damn, we got good enchants. Efficiency 4, fortune 3. Our main item, main block breaking tool? Hell yeah. We also enchant a bunch of tridents with loyalty and go to the nether to do some testing in combat with them. Here. Forgot to slice that. There we go. Which gave us a gold upgrade. Oh, that's double yelling the quest complete. Ender cell. Quest complete. Ender cell spirited. Okay. It's with. Yeah. It's wither time. It's also time for it's also time for me to immediately fall in a hole. But we do get out of it, and these loyalty tridents are very nice for the airborne wither, let me tell you. Anyways, after defeating the wither, back to the base where the game crashes. Where the game crashes. Add it to the counter. I've been calling this. I've totally forgotten. Because this one's crash counter. Did I call this one crash? Okay, it's just crash counter. Add it to the counter. Since we have another star now. We make it into a philosopher's stone so that we can just convert coal into Project E-Fuel. And just up the chain so we have EMC storage for later. It also allows for dark matter and red matter right now. And with dark matter, we can make a ring that is fueled by EMC and it allows us to fly, which will make... Oops. There we go. Fly, which will make the dungeons at least somewhat more manageable. 4 quests, you know, 4 quests. You know, I can just redeem them all at once using this, can't I? Yeah. Atomic alloy, bread, sigil of suppression, and a neutronium block? Bread and a mob imprisonment tool. This used to be called a safari net. Oh boy, honey cake. And after a bunch of crafting for 3 different types of chests and 2 different types of matter, we throw everything into an energizing orb and slam 5 million RF into it so we can have an energy condenser later. Energy condenser is just a dupe box. Insert EMC. Dupe box. Insert EMC. Add item you want to dupe that has an EMC value. Value, not volume. Jeez. Oops. EMC value. And bada bing bada, you shouldn't have failed math. You get more of that item. Since there's stuff beyond the end, we go back and start mining out, and after reaching about 2,800 blocks, we just can't find we just can't find the final dungeon, so we see if we have the structure compass item, and we do. We go back and make it, and after making it, since it took a bit, because it has weird crafting ingredients, it doesn't even pick up the dungeon back where we left off, until we go about another 100 blocks out, and then it finds one around 1k blocks away. Make it to the final dungeon, and of course there are even higher level mobs here. Say fuck that, head home. And now that we have an energy condenser, shit's broken wide open, so as long as we can get 1 of any item with an EMC value, we can have as many as we want, so long as we have the EMC for it. And with the coal chickens, we have a good amount of spare EMC. Make Archangel's Smite, as I tend to call that. It's just a ring that shoots arrows, like really shoots arrows. And with the ring, the 2 rings we have, this dungeon's a joke, we just fly over everything. The only thing that can really harm us are skeletons. And and the special mobs that could spawn shulker-like tracking projectiles, which set us on fire. Anyways, get some mega torches, light up the area, clear out the remaining mobs, and it turns out we can't spawn the final boss without some non-dupable items, so we gotta go hunt. So we gotta go hunting through the dungeons for them. But they're silverfish shards, and there was dungeons for them. Like, they're silverfish sharks. That is, they are there. Shards, and there was one in the end that I forget what it is off the top of my head. We'll come back to it. Honestly, it was just a tedious task. Honestly, it was just a tedious task that I disliked. Let's get this. Chocolate cake, okay. So, then Project E, we got our energy condenser. Sigil of the Green Grove. Go to the Nether for the hot shards, and then over to the end where Hans play. Hans, play Flight of the Valkyries, please. Like, what do you mean we can't? Oh, right, it's me getting the kazoo version of Flight of the Valkyries. Oh, right, it's copyrighted, damn it, but we just fly over all the shulkers, dodging their projectiles, and just blast arrows at them, since our arrows are also homing. Get the ritual starter. Stupid amount of is starter and get out. Side also homing. Get the. There's no I in there. I get the ritual starter and get out. Side note: the loot in the end is not worth the stupid amount of shulkers you have to deal with in there. Back to the final dungeon for the final boss, which would be a lot more interesting if I was not able to fly and just shoot arrows from a distance. We fight this thing 4 times so we can have 4 hearts, one of which we make the dark matter pickaxe, which immediately gets upgraded to the red matter pickaxe. And we get briefly confused on the fact that the blaze burners are nowhere to be found, even though they are just sitting in our backpack that we forgot. And we get briefly confused on the fact that the blaze burners are nowhere to be found, even though they are just sitting in our backpack that we forgot we had. And it's chocolate cake. So we have dark matter tool, which brown laser lens, nice. And red. And red matter tool. Gargantuan flux. Contort ourselves. I think that's how you spell contort. Yeah. That's correct. Contort ourselves in order to see how many gear ratios we have for the small water wheels that we set up for the other boiler so we can copy it over to the new boiler. Try to make a precision mechanism from Create so we can have a robot arm that feed the blaze burners for us, but it's tiresome, especially when it just doesn't work. Build the boiler part of the steam engine and add an engine so we can actually see the stats. We have it as max size. We have fuck all for water, and just one of those little hand pocket warmer things you use in the winter for heat. And just one of those little hand pocket. I go get the oh, break time. Alright, back to it. Hold on. I moved this and now it's technically not correct. I'm noticing. There we go. Images. Hot hands, that's the shit I'm thinking of. Getting this image. Oh, come on. I already downloaded an image today. Just take me to the fucking 1x folder. Save. Bonk. There we go. The hand pocket warmer things you use in the winter for heat. But heat. But after a bunch of finagling and gear ratios and all that bullshit, we do hit max stats on all three and hit total max steam engine. And then we just do a bit of questing for the day and end it off in the nether fucking about to just burn time till the stream ends. Garden cloche, that's something. Bang. And we got an entangled block, which gave us another. Alright. Hey, what do we get? It's hooray, not alright. Hooray, what do we get? Tier 4 cobble gen. What did I? No. I'm gonna fuck up one of these days and it's not. I'm going to delete just a whole section of face. What do we get? Common backpack. Thanks. And another one.
Bitches love cannons.
Alright. You got me. What do I get for adding fucking sound effects? And another one. Let's get the two quests we were actually able to do before I decided to crash out. A diamond hammer. Alright. I do just want to add more to the gin one. Because I think the gin one's one of my favorites. Just because it's random. Before I decide to crash out. A diamond hammer. Alright. And what else? Daylight detector.
You've awoken something deep inside me.
Fuck. Takuma. I'm trying to remember what he sounds like. What else? But thank you, I appreciate that, Takumi. Takashimi. Words are hard and my brain is stupid. Also, yes, I had a feeling you fucking wait for me to get into a flow state to do those, so you have a better chance of actually scaring me. Daylight detector. Yeah, that's fuck. Yeah, that's fucking. You're just crashing out a daylight detector. Fix the volume on this. We're at hour 35 if you've been keeping track, just to check you. But this hour is mainly just getting everything gathered to set up the Good point. That is a good point, Light. Automatic final boss item harvester setup thing. It's weird. It requires a Drigme, which is a mob that can take items from mobs without killing them. It put Killium like it was a material or a chemical or an element. Ium is more for elements, I think. Killium, they're drop items, and put them in a chest, and then building the stasis chamber. The stasis chamber just pauses time within its box, more or less, and it's an annoying thing. It's more or less, and it's... Nope, that's not. Here we go. I mean, anything that can just go critical could be just called Killium. And it's an annoying thing to make, mainly because it requires a fluid in a different machine called a disillusionment chamber. But there's multiple tiers of blocks you need to build to be able to get the stasis chamber, and the fluid It keeps changing for the tiers, and it's annoying as shit, and I hate shit, and I hated it. Yep, that sounds about right. Just the Killium section of the periodic table. Get the rewards here. Silk Touch Pendant for chance cues. I'm just gonna redo this. It's doing the bridging thing again. That one's fine because that's more of a coherent full sentence-ish. Where the gaps over here are more the ones I had problems with. There we go. Get the rewards here. Yeah, 'cause that's like a full sentence. Silk Touch Pendant for chance cues and improved pipes upgrade. And another Lexica Botania. For some reason I thought I got that Botania. For some reason I thought that got it wrong for some reason. Redundant wording is redundant. Item transporter, okay. And Ars Magica. And Ars Magica. Piston, thanks. Let's just redo this section as well. Give it one chance. I'll take it. Item transporter, okay. And Ars Magica. Piston, thanks. That's something to add to the gin one. I'll have to see if I can't remember to record that later. But we do finally make the stasis. There we go. That's better. We do finally make the stasis chamber and begin to figure out how we want to get this all set up and connected so we can just set it and leave it, not worry about it. Turns out we don't have enough stuff to summon the boss again, so we gotta go hunting for some more. And while doing that, the game crashes. Game crashes. Counter. Thank you. There we go. You'd think it would automatically put the thing I just dragged into the timeline in the inspector over here. I guess not. Counter. Thank you. What? Once we do get the materials, it's back to the boss room and we get it all set up and just kind of start troubleshooting it. The main issue being that I don't know how long this shit takes, and I was thinking maybe it would just be kind of fast. No, it's rather slow, and I guess for the amount of hearts you actually need in this pack, it's fair. That's slow. It's fairly balanced that how did I get such a large, whatever, don't worry about it. Just turn off the caps lock and move on with your day. There are some things not worth worrying about. Blacker Lotus, okay. Fucking shit from Botania that doesn't do much. And a gargantuan fluix stored, or flux. Come back from and a gargantuan fluix stored, or flux. Come back from break and immediately just fuck up and break the stasis chamber, thus releasing the boss, which also means more hunting for summoning materials, but this also gives us some time to look up a way to speed this up a bit. Turns out Drink Me's I think that's how you spell Drink Me. I forget, and I also didn't catch earlier if it actually spelled it right. It may have. No, it's Wise. I got it right, but it's not Eyes, it's Wise. Yeah, it did it here too. Alright. Back to wherever the fuck we were. It was... No, next one, I believe. Yeah, come back from break and fuck everything up. Also gives us some time to look up a way to speed this up a bit. Turns out means like to have... That should also be plural, so S. Drink me's like to have friends, so just get some of that passive mob grass stuff we had earlier, whose name I forget, and just now the guy has friends. Like, just delightful dirt, and just now the guy has friends, and it's all right. And now that we just have some free time, just make some energy storage. Too bad the batteries. Too bad the batteries we made just don't work well, and it's kind of a bust. At least they're dupable. Pivot over to making a Mark II energy condenser. It's just like the Mark I, just faster, and it also separates the items you give to it for fuel from the items it's actually duping, which is nice. The current power cables we're using from Power. Huh, actually got Power right. I wasn't expecting it to actually do that. Aren't really cutting it right now, and the upgraded versions are just a pain to make at the moment. So we just go down the mechanism route. For those. Then after doing that, we get our hands on a builder, and we just set it to clear out a large area above us so we can just have space to do things. Too bad it can't place torches for us, and it's rather slow due to our power generation. You know what? Let's just... We're about to get to this marker, which I think is the for some reason, Jack Black marker. I forgot why I placed it, so hopefully I remember when we get to it. You know what? Let's just do this. There's no... you know what? Let's... Let's just do this before I forget. Large cogwheels, hooray. There's something else? White laser lens, hooray. Find another wither to get another star. To get another star, okay. Get another star, which we then dupe, so we have as many nether stars as we need. Replace the dripstone lava generator for the blaze cakes with lava chickens. Jack Black. No. That's why. Try to copy that image. I can't paste. It'd be neat if I could paste directly into the resolve. That'd be nice. Can I use AVIF files? I don't think so in DaVinci. It's like one of the newer formats that DaVinci doesn't support. Finally got WEP support, but I don't think we have... Yeah, we don't have AVIF. Which is like AV1 encoding, but... Try this one. There we go, that's a JPEG. Blaze cakes with lava chickens. Shrink him down. That's not what I wanted to shrink. Chickens, Jack Black. Lava chickens, Jack. Chickens, Jack Black. Chickens, Jack. Lava chickens, Jack Black. Why is he not moving? Because I didn't set the keyframes. I thought I set the keyframes. Try this again. Chickens, Jack Black. Something's wrong. I do not know what. Try this again. So, where is he? He's over here. Okay. Keyframe the position. Chickens. There we go. This should work. Chickens, Jack Black. There we go. Now you can actually see him come onto the screen. Lava chickens, Jack Black. It's fast, but you can just see him. Chickens, Jack Black. No. Oh. Keyframe that. Keyframe the rotation. Warner Bros. Will DMCA us into oblivion. So I'm going to keyframe it here and there. And then from here... rotate him about that amount and Y downwards. Black, no. Warner Bros. Will DMCA us into oblivion. The only other thing I could add would be a Windows squeak. Just, you know, just the long Windows squeak. DMCA us into oblivion. Right there. Do I have a Windows squeak? I feel like I do. Try W for window. Warwick, what happened? No, wait a minute, no. I don't have anything under squeak. I have squeak window, that's probably what I'm... That works. We do not have a third audio track right now. Please create one. It's so weird how I can't have like a thing to help me speed that up. Because now I have to do it from here, which is not great. And I'll lower that in terms of volume, probably about half, Vivian. Maybe a bit more. Because 3 dB is supposed to be half Oblivion. There we go, that's a lot better. Lava chickens, Jack Black, no. I should also change my face here. Lava chickens. I'm gonna get the mad face. Jack Black, no. Warner Bros. Will DMCA us into oblivion. Fuck. And a drain, and it just works so much better. Then attach steam engines to the max boiler, so once the room above us is clear and all that, we can actually use the max boiler for things. Make some more alternators so we can get more RF out of the standard steam engine. And now that the upper room is more or less done, get rotational power up from the max steam engine up there, as well as normal RF power with the mechanism cable. The mechanism cables and the ME, just move the whole ME machine up there as well, because it's our new base of operations. And from there, we just decide to get going on auto crafting from ME, so that it's just a boon to have every single time. It's just so nice. Nice. Few quests right for us space. There we go. Quests right there. Let's see. Mark II. A sigil of fast miner. Ultimate pipe upgrade, and finally tier 3 crafter. Neat. I've not been. I've not. And next thing. And next thing. Oops. I did not mean to redeem that. Absorption hopper route. Absorption hopper route. Let's get these. That's a route. And up the volume, and up the volume. Laser connector. No idea what that is. Hey, an alternator. Perfect. Diamond impact hammer. The hell? And since... There we go. And since cables are... I forgot about that. I forget about it over here as well. No, I can just, boop. And it's gone. And since cables are like the main thing you craft when dealing with applied energistics, we get those recipes into the auto crafting system first. But while the cables are the most crafted item, the most used is likely Certus quartz and... Yep, that's how you spell Certus quartz. And flux crystals. So we design a little system to autofill our storage with around like 200 of each, and when it gets below that it spins up and just makes more. It's not the traditional auto crafting from AE, but hey, it works. It really does. It really does. And a fluid transpond. Move the Move the crystal making system to the back wall because I just kind of like having things on walls. It's just nicer in my opinion. Next we will place some energy condensers so that we can just hook them up to the ME system and have common items like redstone, iron, wool on deck and just ready to use. We also set up a better version of the processor create line that we have downstairs. It kind of fits in a 1 block wide gap if you don't count the power delivery that we placed in the wall. And it just works that way because if an item doesn't interact with the deployer holding something, it just moves on and the silicon presses can just be deposited directly into a deployer. New day, new stream. This has been multiple streams, by the way. I just haven't been announcing all of them. After a half hour, we finally get the processor line going. It was the pipes going. It was the pipes that was giving us issues and just not wanting to correctly deposit items into the correct areas, you know. After that, start working on expanding our auto crafting because you need 1 processor per crafting task. So to get more stuff crafted in parallel, you need more processors. Meanwhile, after some quest redeems, we get the temporal pouch, which can just speed up machines. It's kind of useful in a pinch. It only lasts for 30 seconds, but it can make a machine go up to 256 times speed. Get all these quests. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be using get some cold chickens hooked up. Get some cold chickens hooked. Chickens. I'm just gonna. Oh, way too far. Way too far. There we go. Cause it's doing the thing. Well, did the thing. Doing and did are two different things. Get all these quests. Not chance cubes. Target block. Okay. Iron ore, and finally, once it goes away. Building gadgets. Shall we try that again? Thank you. Building gadgets. We got the exchange gadget, but that gave us a random quest. Temporal pouch, which... Oh, I'm already in there. And there's an energy pack. Slowly collects time as it sits in your inventory. You can use it on machines to speed them up using tape, not pack. Alright. Get some cold chick... Not cold. Cold. Cool. My brain is shutting down again. Get some cold chickens hooked up to the dupe wall as a fuel source, and about 5 minutes later, the game crashes. Later, the game... Game crashes. This But as compensation, we get a watch of flowing time from a quest reward. And this is just far better than the temporal pouch. I don't know how much faster it actually makes things, but instead of using real world time as a fuel source, it just takes EMC to run, and we have lots of that. Start the final Industrial Foregoing quest in the storage chapter of the... Alright, it did that thing again, which is still extremely odd after the mod pack quest book and give up after storage chapter of the mod pack. In the storage chapter of the mod pack. Just realized what that said there. That's not mod pack. Caps lock is still on. Quest book and give up after we figure out how to get ether gas and then just pivot over to the refined storage quest line, because fuck that. Might as well. How far away from the end are we? I would say a fair amount. A potentially not finishing at least episode 1 today. Amount. Might as well redeem these. Oh hey, the Watch of Flowing Time, which was another quest. Signal of the Green Grove, okay. Oh hey, an Elytra. Work on the refined storage quest line. I never really used. I never quest line. I never really used the mod, more or less because it's just AE2. AE2, but just slightly different. And if both are in the pack, I don't see a reason to switch over. You know, more miscellaneous quest line. Yep, and my brain's blanking on how to spell miscellaneous. To switch over, you know, more miscellaneous quest lines. Make a trip over to the end for chorus fruit, but there isn't any out here. There isn't any out here for some damned reason. At least we can crush and wash end stone to get the flower, and then we just grow that from there. Compact machines is a mod. I never really use it, but it's still neat. Anyways, let's redeem all. Still neat. Anyways, let's redeem all these. Why do I smell pancakes? That's odd. A daylight sensor. And a sight casing. Sight casing. Fluid pipe. Tier 5 cobble gen, guarding close, advanced pipe upgrade. And a sight casing. Uncommon backpack, exchange gadgets. Item pipe, alternator, item pipe. Right. Anything else? Nope, that's everything. Don't know why we did the Scooby-Doo impression there, but we did. Continue with just random quests that have no real end goal, mainly just the mob farm chapter. We do get a second temporal pouch from a quest, but they don't work if there's 2 of them in your inventory, so get going on the create chapter and then the game crashes. The game crashes. Create chapter and then the game crashes. After finishing create, we go for immersive engineering, which is another mod I don't really like for various reasons, but the game crashes. Chapter completed. Chapter completed. Miscellaneous. Alright. Then let's redeem everything here. So we got redstone repeater, some andesite casing, and casing, an iron hammer, an anvil, pipe wrench, a railgun, stone paxel, mop fan, that's neat, a flux point, I had no idea, and a hopper. Easy. Lacquer Lotus, Botanic. Let's see here. So we got another temporal pouch, a flux point, another basic backpack, red laser lens, and another Lexica Botania. Quests. Create. And let us redeem. Flux cell frame, a train schedule. Thanks. And a vector plate. Fuck am I supposed? Me starts cursing. The editor. Cut to commercial! Fuck am I supposed? Ugh. Once immersive engineering is finished, we move on to industrial foregoing, and then realize everything requires the disillusionment chamber or whatever the fuck it's called, and all its various fluids, so fuck that. Fluid, so fuck that, and into mechanism, and that and into mechanism and polonium creation. And now for a rant. Hans set the rant. Hans set the rant. Hans set the video to like 8 times speed in grayscale, like the old days. You see, I thought Stone Block 3 would not be a kitchen sink pack. It'd be more like the other two, but it is a kitchen sink, and the quest book isn't helpful. It's more there to inform you of what's in the pack rather than giving you a goal and a hint of how to go about it and such. The mechanisms section with making the polonium and setting up the reactor and the chain that leads up to it is what I more like in a quest book, where it's just kind of teaching you how it works and gives you an end goal, such as the polonium, which is something we need a lot of later for the final quests of the pack. It's likely just how I play modded Minecraft and the quests, where I'm not really thinking of too much of the end because it's so far away, so the book just doesn't help me get any closer, and then I run into a wall of needing the final thing, and I gotta climb this vertical cliff face. Does that make sense? I think it does. There's like, in the quest book, it has a section where you have all the final singularities of items. It's like, if you split that up amongst the other chapters instead of just having it in the end, it would have gone smoother. Like, here's how you do create. Your final item you need is a bunch of balloons. Let's see, what do we get? Ah, cool, another electric motor, ender cell. I had no idea what these do. Mob match. Sure, chocolate cake. The field projector, we already have those. A large cogwheel, a paxel, we already have a entangled block. And an add-on, tier 8. And the whole next... That's and. And the whole next hour is us just going down that mechanism quest line. Quest line, just trying to get everything hooked up, the whole production just going with duping items. Our main issue is water, and that continues to be our main issue, but we do get a reactor up and running at the very least by the end of the hour. We just don't get polonium yet. Continue with mechanism. And the polonium nuclear waste repository, or whatever the fuck it's called, and just get polonium finished about a half hour into it, and then just decide to make the gem armor, because it's a quest and why not. Now we can fly without needing a ring, so that's one inventory slot freed up. And then we decide on what we want to do next, which is a transmutation table. It's an item, you put in EMC, and then you can just pull out whatever item you want, so long you already put it in there. It's very nice. And that's going to be the end of this episode, so this is going to be a two-parter. Until next time. Bye-bye. Should actually get this done before the stream. Sweet. Bye-bye. Till next time. Polonium fuck, I'm wearing earmuffs. Why is it so loud? Well, that's one polonium. That's working. Alright. Redeem everything, even if it's not in the mechanism tree. Ah, cool, another alternator. Quantum bullshit I don't care about. Diamond knife. Daylight sensor, drawer, fluid cell frame, cogwheel, tier 10, tier 4, sigil of the frozen lake, blaze mesh, uncommon backpack, uncommon backpack, not backpack, tier 4, botany pot, furnace wrapping paper, what? Blue bomb. Let's see what we, very, very resistant to damage. Sigil of the Fast Miner, we already have one of those. And then into the outro. Sweet. That is 1 of 2 episodes done. And then if I hit in, yeah, 45 minutes. This one's 45 minutes, so it'll take us less time to do. So what I'm predicting, I forget how many thumbnails I need to make, and because depending on how well Friday goes with editing and getting the thumbnails for League made, we also need thumbnails for this. After I remembered that. So at worst, we go into Monday. At best, we don't, and then we can play Ender Magnolia. Yeah, I think Ender Magnolia is our next game to play. As just a game. Come on. And there goes my tinnitus. I'm just dragging this across the entire thing, and I think it just hates the fact that I'm doing that. Something's wrong somewhere. Oh, there's no... That's odd. No, that one's fine. I remember that one. Some of the other gaps back there I don't remember, so that's concerning. It's trying. It's going to hate when I go back to the thing. Go back to the start of the video. Yep, oh. Back it up. Backing up. Oh, there we go. Zoom back in. And once Seribot warns us, probably in about like 7 minutes, then we'll click off. Hello and welcome to my time with Stoneblock 3, episode 2, where at hour 50 we start going down... Is this hour 50? Yeah, it is. Down the power chapter of the quest book. It's a power generation transmission mod with a new way of crafting, more or less. It replaces the enchanter from Stoneblock 2 in a much nicer way, because I hated that thing. Nicer way, because I hated that thing. After Power, it's just a quick into RF tools. There's like 4 quests in there, which I remember as the Dimension mod, but the builder is the only useful thing here, in my opinion. After that, into a quick jaunt into the Thermal series, just a mod full of machines and... and stuff for processing ores and things like that. And from there, it's into Ars Novaru, which... I've completely forgotten how to actually spell R's, whatever the fuck it is.
cannons.
Alright. That's another one. Hey. Ars Novaru, which we went over in episode 1 a little bit, so if you want to know what that's all about, go back and watch that episode in time. But for now, in time. I think the volumes of these are all... So here's what I'm going to do for this. I'm just going... Well, just zoom out. It's going to be a whole lot easier if you just zoom out. Select all of it. It should be all of it. It is. Then I should... Yeah, there we go. The only issue is that it is not... Alright, Control Z that. Go back here. Align it. There we go. Now that... Because track 1 has -3 dB on it. I think everything past here has the correct volume, more or less. Alright, now I just gotta find where I was, which was like somewhere over here. That was right here. In time, but for now. Nope, don't. Not what I wanted. We have a signal. I keep saying signal instead of sigil. We have a signal of magnetism, more chocolate cake, tier 10, and more blue. Alright, well, that's the power tree done. Let's redeem everything. Electric motor, energy pipe. Ender tank. Osmium Paxil. Vial. Not vials. Not vial as in a vial. Vial as in it is vile.
You've awoken something deep inside me.
You're gonna add that to the counter. Alright, fuck. Okay. Let me fix the eye here. There we go. And then file save. Now you have 2 fucking things to scare me with. Granted, I prefer the Jin one because it can be very funny. Alright, file saved. That's the stream. We got a lot done. 1 episode. Depending on how long it takes us to finish the thumbnails and the other thumbnails, we may be able to finish this Friday. I don't have too much hope in that, so we'll see. We'll probably have to go into Monday, but we'll see Friday. Anyways, yeah, we'll be back Friday making the leak thumbnails, and we'll probably loop around back to this. But until Friday, which will be next time. Bye-bye.